Hey guys, it's Conte here, back with another Star Rings video. This time I'm looking at Silent Forest, and obviously I have to start with level 1. And on the planet where you start, the first thing you want to do is go to the right and grind on the rail on the far right. Then as you get close to the extra pair of rails on the right, jump on those and then go on the wall. Once there, you'll want to sidestep to the left, so don't spin dash when you go up the wall or you won't be able to do this. Then you'll have a few mushrooms on pogo sticks to deal with. I'm not sure what they're called, but they look like mushrooms on pogo sticks. But anyway, once you're done with them, go forward and turn a few corners and you'll find the first star ring. You can take the boosters, but you want to take the middle one because the star ring is in the middle. Then you continue past a planet with 5 spiders and a flower and go on to here. Once you do, immediately go down to the path below. It's a straight path with a lot of boosters and iron balls to dodge, but it leads you to a star ring, and the iron balls aren't really that hard to dodge. Now this is actually the 3rd star ring, but I recommend you get this one first because if you're trying to get all of them in one go, it's easier to get this one, go backwards, and then get the second one on the other side of the planet. Once you get there, follow the trail with the flowers until you get to the island with the 3 badniks that throw mushrooms at you. At this point, the path splits into 2 parts and you'll see a star ring on the left. So you'll have to go to the left and open the red flowers so you can jump on them. And make sure to spin when you're jumping on these closed flowers because otherwise they won't open. And when you get to the second red flower, this will happen. Then you'll be free to pass the next planet with the spiders and the flower and move on to this one. And again, you have 2 star rings on both sides of this planet. For the 4th one, look on the bottom side of the planet for 2 grind rails that have a chicken and go between 2 big walls. Make sure to go to the one on the right because this one has a bell at the end. And as usual, you have to hit the bell enough times for it to become a star ring and get past some obstacles along the way. Then there's one last one on the other side of the planet with a checkpoint. Near the end of the last set of grind rails is a star ring on the right rail. You'll have to jump over a few crocodiles too, but it shouldn't be too hard. You may be able to jump from one side of the planet to the other to get the 4th and 5th star rings, but it's not going to be safe. So chances are you'll have to play this stage at least twice to get the star rings. Speaking of stages, we're moving on to level 2. And near the beginning, in the area with the falling pigs, you'll have to keep your eyes peeled for the blatantly obvious platforms going above the main path. Going across said platforms will give you the first star ring at the last platform. As for the 2nd star ring, you can't really miss it because it's right under the main path. When you jump down, you can't get too close to the ledge or Sonic will grab onto it. So you either have to jump far enough to the left and then double jump to the right to get the star ring, or if Sonic grabs the ledge, I think you can drop down and then get the star ring. Then you'll just have to get back up and resume the stage. After you use the rhythm wisp with the first time, you'll see a mantis badnik with several mushroom pogo stick badniks. Not to mention several plants you can bounce off. Not too far into this area, you'll see a platform with a booster and a spring, and whatever you do, don't take the spring because you'll skip over the star ring right after it. Just jump directly on the platform where the star ring is and get it. After this, you'll see yet another rhythm wisp and yet another mantis waiting to attack you. Right after the mantis are 3 flat platforms, including one that's unusually high. The highest platform is too high for you to bounce on, so what you have to do is take the mushroom guy, use the homing attack on him, and then go up to the platform. And the last ring's really not that far off. There's a platform with 3 mushroom thingamajigs, and then the path will split into 2 parts, but you actually want to go on the bottom part because that's where the star ring is. It's in an enclosed space between 2 platforms along with 2 other big rings that are not what you're looking for, but still potentially helpful. And after that, it's a pretty long trip to the boss at the end of the stage. So now for the 3rd level. Immediately once you get out of the first tunnel, the path splits and you need to take the top route, so you'll have to do a few jumps and dodge a couple of blocks of spikes and you'll be good to go. Later, you'll end up in another tunnel with some boulders you have to dodge, and then the path splits again. Only this time, there are star rings on both paths. The one on the bottom is in a bell between the 2 walls, so you'll have to follow it on the lower route as you keep hitting it. Once you get the star ring, there's a spring leading up to the main route and a chicken right after it. Meanwhile, if you go on the second wall where the paths first split up, you can take a spring to the upper route. Said route has a few purple crystal tiles that you can break using the bounce attack. And just like in the Windy Hill Cave level, you'll find 3 big crystals, 2 of them with animal capsules, and a third one with a star ring. And notice that when you get out of the tunnel, you end up at the same place as before with the same chicken and all. In fact, the way the level is designed, you can get the star ring on the bottom route and then go to the main path and trace your way backward to where the crystal tiles leading to the other star ring are. And that can save the trip of having to try the stage again. Anyway, when you get to the end of the tunnel and destroy the chicken, you continue onto a tunnel with boulders again. Not to mention slime that's really fun to wander around in. But among some of the slime tiles here are some more crystals you can break with the bounce. Only the tunnel it leads you to is a bit more dangerous to go through because of the icicles that drop at you from the ceiling. These icicles surround all the animal capsules, including the one where the star ring is, so you'll need to approach the last capsule in a way that gets the icicles to drop without killing you. Then you can jump on this animal capsule and get the star ring. Meanwhile, when you get past the tunnel on the main route, there are 2 walls facing towards you with the trail of rings on both of them. As you can guess, you can jump on the wall and sidestep following the trail of rings to go on another route, and this route has crystals that you can break with the bounce. Again. Then you'll have some more icicles to dodge, and then you'll see a star ring on a series of walls. You'll have to get up on the wall from the floor and jump on the other wall, using the spin dash as needed to get enough height to get the star ring, and to double jump when you're off the walls to not die. Then continue until you can find a safe floor to stand on. And when you do, you'll find 3 chickens in a row. Not the easiest to kill, but there is a technique to destroying them. When you get close to them, try to use the homing attack as far away from them as you can. That way you'll arc over the machine that the chickens are in, and you'll hit the chicken without getting hurt. Then continue on with the laser wisp and past the other obstacles, and then you'll get to the end. So for the 4th level, there aren't any star rings in the first area, so skip over that. Go on into the room after it and look for an Orbinaut on top of a Motobug. And right after that is a tiki head going up and down. Jumping on top of this tiki head will take you to the first star ring. Later you'll be on a platform with a star ring under it hovering over a rolling wheel. And if you continue on to the right, there's a path that opens up so you can go back and get the ring. You'll have to jump on a few platforms to get it, and this is where the trouble comes because there's a small platform you can jump on, but it's kinda hard to jump because your gravitational orientation changes as you go, so it's kinda hard to tell if you're gonna land on the platform or not. And it's a small platform, so that's even worse. Probably what you want to do is use the spin dash and then fall off one of the larger platforms and then do your double jump, so you'll be able to cover more distance that way. And now you'll just have to find a checkpoint so you won't have to do that again. After this, there are no star rings for a while, so keep going until you get to this dark room. Not too far into this area, you'll find another great tiki head, which is the equivalent of a thwomp, by the way, standing between 2 pigs, a small one and a big one. Again, you'll have to jump on the tiki head and go up, but this time there's a room to the left with the star ring you're looking for. Farther into this room, past the loop-de-loop, there's a set of wheels you need to get past. But once you get on the second set of wheels, go to the left instead of the right, because then you can climb up the left wall to a separate wheel with the 4th star ring. And you don't have to worry about backtracking because there's a spring that leads you back to the main path. And a short distance off from that, you'll see one last star ring on a secluded platform. And if you're like me, you may wonder, well, can I go back and... No, you can't. Instead, you'll have to go to the right and face the golden pigs, also known as ball hogs. Anyway, one of the pigs is on a platform, and if you use the kick attack properly, you can get on said platform. Then you can parkour up the wall and go to some smashing tiki heads, so with the first 2 tiki heads, try walking under them and don't press the run button until it's safe. Because if you run, Sonic will try to do his parkour moves and that can mess you up. The next 2 tiki heads are easier to dodge because the floor is flat, so you could just walk it or run it. Then you'll land on the platform with the last star ring and be able to go on, face the boss, and end the stage. Then, after all this searching around in the jungle, you'll find this rare gem.